The Lower Silesian Offensive was a Soviet offensive on the Eastern Front of World War II in 1945, involving forces of the 1st Ukrainian Front under Marshal Ivan Konev. It cleared German troops from much of Lower Silesia and besieged a large German force in the provincial capital, Breslau. Prelude. The offensive directly succeeded the Vistula-Oder offensive, in which Konev's troops had driven the German Army Group A from Poland, liberating Krakow and taking bridgeheads over the Oder River. Deployments: Red Army Northern Wing of 1st Ukrainian Front, 3rd Guards Tank Army, 4th Tank Army, 3rd Guards Army, 5th Guards Army, 6th Army, 52nd Army, 2nd Air Army. Wehrmacht Northern Wing of Army Group A, 17th Army, XXXXVII Panzer Corps, 57th Panzer Corps, 17th Corps, 8th Corps. Garrison of Fortress Breslau, 4th Panzer Army, 24th Panzer Corps, Panzer Corps Großdeutschland 4, 10th Panzer Corps, Grapi Friedrich. The offensive. Konev intended to break out of the Steiner-Nolau bridgeheads, which had been secured at the end of the Vistula-Oder offensive. On February 8, he preceded the initial attack with a 50-minute artillery bombardment, his troops crossing the start lines at 6 o'clock. By the end of the day, the front's spearheads had penetrated some 60 kilometers. The 3rd Guards Tank Army was ordered to wheel southwards and then eastwards in order to encircle the city of Breslau from the rear, while the 4th Tank Army continued its push westwards from the Steiner bridgehead. By February 15, forces from the two bridgeheads had surrounded Breslau, while 3rd Guards Tank Army had closed the gap to the west. Only elements of the German 269th Infantry Division managing to withdraw. Another 35,000 troops and 80,000 civilians had been blockaded in Breslau. The resulting siege of Breslau lasted until the very end of the war. The 4th Tank Army, in the meantime, had pushed far ahead towards the Neisse River, against some resistance from 4th Panzer Army. On February 14, two German corps mounted a sudden counter-attack that left Lelyushenko's force in a desperate fight to avoid encirclement. The Germans were unable to close the encirclement and ceased attacking operations within 5 days. When the 52nd Army and 3rd Guards Tank Army were able to secure the flanks of Lelyushenko's position, on February 24, faced with heavy German reinforcement, Konev closed the offensive phase of operations, having secured a small bridgehead across the Neisse near force. This effectively defined the start lines in that sector for the Battle of Berlin, or Berlin Offensive. 2 months later. Aftermath. Schörner attempted to win back some territory during March with successful counter-attacks at Lorban and Stryegozu. An offensive to relieve Breslau was however disrupted by an offensive on the 1st Ukrainian Front's right flank to the southeast. The Upper Silesian Offensive operation